Is it possible to become fluent in English just like a native speaker? Well, this is a big question that a lot of English learners are asking. They're really aspiring or wishing to sound just like a native speaker does, or just simply like an American native speaker speaks English. They want to sound exactly just like those people whose native language is English. So, have you ever considered this thing, or have you ever thought of this thing to be true, or have you ever wanted to become fluent in English just like a native speaker? Or even, is it even possible to become like that? It's a big question. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the possibilities that is going to show you whether or not becoming fluent in English, just like a native speaker, is possible or not. So stick around with me in this video. I'm going to share everything that is there. And honestly, I'm going to give you the things that I did that helped me get closer to my goal of becoming fluent, just like a native speaker. I'm going to show you every pattern, everything that is out there, so that you guys can also get to your goal of becoming fluent, just like a native speaker. The first thing that got me closer to my dream of sounding like a native speaker was that I read a lot of books in English. And you might ask me, how does reading books in English help you sound like a native speaker? How does that help me? Yeah, there are a lot of questions that can be asked in this regard, but I found some benefits in reading books, and I want to share it with you so that you can also gain some insight about it. So the first benefit that I got from reading books was that reading books really helped me grasp the idea of how I can form my sentences in English. English is a unique language. Obviously, this is true. And everybody who's trying to learn English as their second language is going to feel a lot of trouble speaking and writing, and obviously speaking is a difficult part of it. So they're gonna have a very hard time speaking English. You have been at some point a beginner in terms of English learning. So I am sure that it was hard for you to speak in English in the beginning. It was a big challenge for you. But what made what made the process easy for you to speak English? The first thing that happened to you might have been that you read a lot of articles, books, or stories or histories in English. So when you read a lot in English, that's going to teach you the pattern of English. It's going to teach you how you can make sentences in English. It teaches you how you can form your sentences in English, and how you can be fluent speaking English and flow from one sentence to the other very efficiently and comfortably. So reading books is a really efficient and a very big and promising way of helping you and everybody out there to learn English to the point where they can sound just like a native speaker. So reading books has like plenty of other benefits to it. Like I just mentioned one of them here. And if you keep reading books, if you stick to the practice of reading books in English for some time, maybe for 2 or 3 months, you're going to feel a lot of benefits, a lot of, challenges solved in you in terms of English speaking, writing, reading, and also listening. So it's going to be a very easy time for you, and you're going to see a lot of benefits in you as the time goes by, and as you keep yourself consistent with this practice over time. So make sure to read more books in English. Make sure to make this practice let it come into your practicing routine of English, and do it every single day. And you're going to notice how beautiful and beneficial, or how you can benefit from reading more books. So try this thing and you're going to see the results. The second way that you can actually get closer to your dream of becoming or sounding like a native speaker is that you should listen to native speakers speak English a lot. Now, it could be a little bit intimidating in the beginning, because when you try to listen to a native speaker speak English, obviously they use a lot of slangs or expressions that are new to you, that are going to cause you a lot of trouble in terms of comprehension when you listen to them. And this is completely something that is going to happen. That is something that can be seen as you do this practice. That can happen. It's something that is possibly going to happen. But if you do this practice over and over, you're gonna feel like you can understand native speakers easily. Like your ears and your brain is going to get used to listening in English from native speakers, from the people whose native language is English, and it's going to give you a very easy time understanding them. So as this practice goes by for some time, then when you listen to a native speakers, or whenever you want to speak English by yourself, whenever you want to open your mouth to speak in English, then you have an easy time talking in English just because you grasp or attracted or got some of the beautiful expressions, sentence structures from native speakers whenever they spoke. And then you can, at that time, speak English better. You speak English in a way that just like a native speaker does. So as you read books that I mentioned in the previous point, as reading books helps you become able to sound just like a native speaker, so does this practice of listening to native speakers, because there are those people who have been raised in English, like in a place where English was the common and the most used language in their area. So no wonder that if you listen to those people often, then you're gonna grab their way of using words. You're gonna notice how they pause, how their intonation rises and falls, how you can imitate their way of sounding or their way of using expressions or their way of word choice, which is a very important thing in order for you to sound like a native speaker. It's a big challenge, it's hard, but if you do this for some time, then you're going to feel like it's getting easy for you, and you can speak better as a result of it. And one of the most interesting thing in the practice of listening to native speakers is that it is a fun practice. Like when you listen to news or when you listen to people at home or everywhere in your country or in your region, it's listening to them and talking with people is a fun thing. Talking has never been a boring thing unless you're talking to an old man. Talking has always been an interesting practice for people. So as you go by your day listening to people, it doesn't matter if they're speaking English or your native language. The main thing is that you can understand them. So as long as you can understand native speakers speak English, then talking and listening to people is not a big challenge to face in the world, because talking is a usual thing for humans, because humans talk a lot. Now think about it, how much time do you spend talking with people on a daily basis, on a day-to-day activities that you have? I'm sure you spend hours and hours talking to people and listening to people, of course. So now in this case, if you listen to native speakers, what is it going to take away from you? It's going to be, in fact, a very beautiful practice. It's going to help you improve your English. In the meantime, it's going to give you a very nice perspective into the community and costumes and everything that happens in every English-speaking country, let's say in America or in England or every country that speaks English. Basically, you open their videos, you go to their sites. Let's say you go to an American native English speaker channel on YouTube or wherever it is, on TV or news. You listen to them, and they obviously speak about a topic. Now, as you listen to their topic, as you listen to their talks, they will share the stuff about their life. Maybe they're doing a vlog or everything, whatever that is, it doesn't matter. You listen to those people, you're going to find a lot of information about those people, their lives, their maybe personal lives, or their problems, or anything that they're talking about. And it's going to give you a very interesting moment. It's going to be a very interesting practice or activity on a daily basis. So apart from benefiting you in terms of your English improvement, it's also going to give you a lot of insight into the world of the foreign countries like America or England or wherever that is. So make sure to do this practice over and over. You can benefit from this as I did. Like on a daily basis these days, I speak English often. I listen to native speakers speak English often these days. It's kind of became a very beautiful thing for me. Like I listen to a vlogger or someone who is speaking in English and is really talking about his day-to-day activities that are happening around him. It is obviously a boring thing if I listen to it in my native language, but when it comes to English, I do this on purpose and deliberately. I do this practice over and over because I know that I'm going to benefit from this thing a lot. So make sure to add this practice into your lists of practices of English, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to produce a lot of results for you, and the end result is going to be promising for you. And make sure to do this for some time so that you can feel and see results and get motivated and fuel yourself to become more and much better in English.